Alright, hi, it's me, Colin. This is at Colin's house. Stanley. Alright, that's my dog whining. But today we are going to talk about the frog versus the butterfly life cycle and how they are different and alike. So, both of them come from the adult laying the eggs in different places and things. Like the mother butterfly, let's say a monarch, she lays her eggs on milkweed. And as for the frog, they lay their eggs in the water. I'm sorry about my dog whining, if you hear it. And whenever they hatch, well, I'm going to tell you some facts different about the egg. And so the frog egg is covered in a jelly, which keeps most predators away from the eggs. But the butterfly eggs, they have no protection. And also the frog eggs are clear and the caterpillar eggs are not clear. And you can also see the tadpole developing in the frog egg, and the caterpillar you cannot see through that yellow shell. And they also come out in different ways. A caterpillar, which eats itself out of the egg, and then first eats the eggshell it once lived in. As for the tadpole, whenever it comes out, it doesn't do anything right then because it hasn't fully developed. But only sometimes it happens, okay? And sometimes they also they still haven't fully developed, and the egg. I didn't tell you this in the beginning, and I should have. I'm sorry. But you can see a black dot, and that's the embryo of the egg, and then that turns into the tadpole. And they begin to move around the egg too. Excuse me, I need to get some air. Alright, so they look very different whenever they come out too. And they also have different things. Like the tadpole has gills, and it needs to have gills to breathe underwater, and it can't breathe on land because it has gills and not lungs. And the caterpillar, because you don't know, it comes out, it has lungs so it can breathe air like other insects, except it's an insect right now. It doesn't have 3 legs it isn't like this, but it's like this instead, crawling around on a bunch of legs. And the tadpole has a fin, and it looks like a fish, and I guess some people are mistaken about it being a fish. And the tadpole is also called the pollywog because poll stands for head and wog stands for wiggle because it's tail. Yeah, it's true. And the caterpillar munches away on leaves and kind of makes people upset about their garden, because once that happened to my garden and my parents were not happy about it. No, they weren't. And I saw, and whenever I was looking out my window, I saw a caterpillar on the ground. Yeah. And so the second stage of the butterfly life form is a pupa. But the tadpole doesn't do any kind of metamorphosis like that. They begin to grow their hind legs, which are typically longer than the front legs that they develop next. And while the caterpillar is in the pupa, the frog changes, and the frog, not the frog, it doesn't change inside, but in a different habitat, the tadpole tail is shrinking, and the gills start to be covered up by skin and grow lungs. And by the time that has happened, it's a frog. But whenever its tail isn't shrunken yet, it can still breathe on land, and it has lungs too. While the caterpillar is still in the pupa, the caterpillar comes out of the chrysalis and is no longer a caterpillar. Which the frog doesn't go through any metamorphosis like that, and the frog doesn't like make something like a hard shell in metamorphosis and make a metamorphosis in that. They just do it while they're living their life. And the final stage of the tadpole is by its tail fully shrinking and it going to land. And whenever it's on land, it changes its diet, which is normally bugs. And the butterfly, its wings have to dry after it comes out of the chrysalis. And the painted lady butterfly, whenever it opens its wings, a red liquid called mesonium comes out of it to help it open up. But we suggested monarch butterflies. And after the butterfly's wings are dry, it finds a mate, and the monarch butterfly migrates really far. And then after that, they lay the eggs, caterpillars come out, eat, make a pupa, come out as a butterfly, dry their wings, and lay the eggs, and the cycle keeps going on all over again. Same for the frog. The frog finds a mate after about 3 or 4 years or so. Whenever they turn into adults, and then they lay eggs in a pond. Then the tadpole hatches out of the egg, and then its hind legs grow, then its front legs, then its tail shrinks. It's a frog, lays eggs, and then the cycle goes on again. And this is on Calling Back, and have a nice day, and thank you for listening to learn about the frog life cycle and the butterfly life cycle and how they're like indifferent. Like and subscribe, please. Thank